Whether you're not sure if that website you just found is a legitimate one or not, or you're not comfortable giving your data over to one of any number of possible data leaks, as you can see here, that's where privacy.com comes in. Hello, I am Wanderer001, and this is my review of, like I said, privacy.com. I'm going to give you the TLDR. This is a way to create virtual credit cards so that you can use it to pay either one-time fees, recurring bills, things of that nature. We will get into the nit and gritty of it as we go through the review. For starters, you do need to create an account with privacy.com in order to actually be able to access it. I'm going to call this a KYC, and if you know what that means, it is a know your customer, meaning that you do have to set it up with an email address, phone number, and actual physical address, as well as you will need to link a bank account or a debit card. Now, with that, I did find that you cannot link it to a Green Dot account because I was planning on using this with my Wealthfront account, review over there in the corner, but it wouldn't let me do that. So you're gonna have to be looking at one of your major banking establishments for use with this particular system. And then what it'll do is it'll do a microtransaction to your debit or bank account to make sure that you are the legitimate person. It was a little larger than I had thought with other services. Right here in the middle, you can see some of the transactions that I have made. Kind of slowed down when the pandemic hit, so I didn't really use this as much as I thought I was going to because, well, I wasn't buying anything or going anywhere. But that's all changing, turning around, so I figured I would help you guys out to help keep yourself private online. You do have a rotating carousel up here at the top of things that they'd like you to pay attention to. They have a contract with 1Password. You can get cash back. We'll talk about that a little later. Invite friends. And then it does have a Chrome extension. But we're here for the credit cards. And what that is right here, you can see I created a Discovery Plus. That is a burner card. I've got an HBO down here. I've got an Apple TV. So when I'm testing out all of those streaming services, this is primarily how I go about doing it. I will caveat saying that not all streaming services will accept a digital credit card. So keep that in mind. If we come over activity, this is everything over here. Right now I haven't really done anything, but you can show your daily spend, your monthly spend, your privacy credit. So just for signing up, you get a credit, and then track your spending. We're going to come over to cards because, well, that's what you're interested in. Selecting cards will show you, and selecting one, like this one here, Wise, shows you the transactions just for that particular card. You can also pause it, close it, or tag, customize, and share. We're going to close that because what we're going to do here is we're going to select create a new card. What this will allow you to do is select a nickname, and we're just going to call this test, and you'll see it actually kind of looks for icons that look like it. So what if we did Udemy? So here we go. Udemy, save. You can select a limit or leave it unlimited. So you can have a monthly, yearly, per transaction, or total. I'm going to say total, leave it at 100, and then set spend. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a card that will have a total spend limit of $100 for Udemy. So if this was a recurring thing like Hulu or Netflix, once it got to $100, the card would decline and they wouldn't be able to charge you. Granted, Netflix or Hulu would close after that because, well, they want to get paid. But it's one way to kind of keep yourself from getting over-subscriptioned, meaning you signed up for something, kind of forgot about it. If you used one of these cards, you wouldn't have to worry about that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select Create Card. And just like you saw before, it creates a credit card for you. Obviously, it's blurred out, but it lets you know. And just like before, you can pause, close, or tag, customize, or share. So we could select tag, create a tag for it, come down, customize, and it's letting you know if you've already used this somewhere, it's going to cause some problems. But we can change the brand or we can customize it ourselves. So hypothetically, if we wanted to put a TV on it and we're going to make it blue and then hit save, that's still our Udemy card. But we got to customize it a little bit to make it a little easier to tell from the grouping. You can also share it, and it informs you that, you're taking obligation because this is linked to your bank account, that you're responsible for that. And we're just going to close that and make one more card. We're going to make this a Netflix card. We're going to say save. Instead of no limit, it's a single use card, $10, submit. Now you'll notice that it turns red. So that's what that red icon means. It's a single use, it's like a burner card. So that is one way to keep yourself anonymous. It also is good to get around places that won't let you buy more than one thing per credit card. Just putting it out there. Also, if you ever have lost your physical credit card, you know what happens is they send you a new credit card with new numbers and you have to change your services to the new credit card. If you have a digital card like these, there's nothing to lose, because if you lose your debit card, you merely come in here and change your debit account, and then all of your credit cards that you've set up stay intact. Now, what about people who get cash back on their credit cards? Well, sadly, Privacy.com doesn't get cash back because it's linked to a debit or a bank account. However, if we come over and look at pricing, Personal is the one that I've been using. It's free forever. You don't have to pay for anything. However, their Pro plan, which is $10 a month, will get you 1% cash back on all of your purchases. If it's worth it to you, most personal credit cards get a little more than that. I'll have links to the ones I use down in the description area. But here you can see one of the bonuses is you can create 36 cards per month. On the free account, you can only do 12. So I kind of stacked mine ahead of time, knowing what I would want. But 36 cards gives you a little more flexibility. This one is what I actually considered upgrading for, which is the discrete merchants, meaning Privacy.com will hide from your bank what you're buying. I'm not saying that this is some black market stuff, but maybe you're shopping somewhere that you don't necessarily want your bank to know about. This is a way to do it. Again, completely above board. This is not dark web stuff. This is merely shopping at a merchant that you don't want to show up on your bank account. Maybe you're shopping at a novelty store for a bridal shower and you just don't want your bank to know that. This would allow you to do that. If you move up to the teams for $25, really, you get 60 cards, which is more. You get a dedicated account manager and a higher transaction limit. Because with a personal or a free one, you have a daily spend limit of $250 and a monthly spend limit of $1,000. So if you needed more than that, you would upgrade to one of those higher tiers. One of the things that I do appreciate, and I know you may be thinking about this as well, what makes this different than if I use a PayPal or something like that? And you know what? Yes, you're right. It is similar to PayPal. However, not all merchants take PayPal. So having a virtual credit card allows you to shop on sites like that. Privacy.com does offer 2FA, so you can use it with your authentication app on your phone to add an extra layer of privacy, or it will send you an email code, which is good. It is good security, and you would hope you would get something like that from Privacy.com. I know this is a little more disjointed than I normally do. It's a service that piqued my interest before the pandemic, and now that things are changing, I will go back and use it a little more. But with the holiday shopping season coming up, I figured I would share this particular service with you. Obviously, as I mentioned before, there is a referral program, so I will have my link in the description area below. If you found some portion of this helpful, I would appreciate you using the link. It will get you $5 for yourself that you can have credited to your Privacy account. If you have any questions or comments regarding Privacy.com, please feel free to leave them in the description area below. I have been Wanderer001, and as always, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.